The biggest mistake that we make with our intuition is that we keep asking it the wrong questions. You see, a few days back, I was struggling with a challenge in my business. So I have the spiritual coaching business, and I was trying to find out what my intuition has to say about it, which direction it wants me to go. Should I create a new offer? Should I create a new program? I had been conflicted about it. But the problem was, I kept asking it a wrong question. I was also asking it, how do I do it? How do I sell the program? How do I sell the offer? I wanted to know the know how. I wanted to have the clarity, the certainty before I would choose the direction it has to offer me. And there lies the problem. Many times we do this exact mistake. We keep knocking on the door of our intuition and we keep asking it the how question. How do I do this? How do I solve this? How do I know that this will work? How do I know that this will not fail? And the problem is the intuition does not answer that question. We keep banging our heads and we get frustrated and we don't make that decision and later we regret. Have you experienced that? If you have, today I'm going to show you what is the exact mistake that we do, why you should not be asking that question but another completely different question instead, which the intuition wants to answer. How does your intuition functions and why there is a role to our intellect which is very different from our intuition, which gives us some of the answers that we sometimes mistakenly ask our intuition. So let's begin, right? So what question should we ask our intuition, right? Because if it is not how to do things, then what is it? What is the question that our intuition is very much willing to answer? And that question is which way to go, which path to take, which is the most aligned way possible for me to move towards, which way, which direction. The intuition is not an answering machine. The intuition is a GPS. It's a compass, right? You have a GPS or you have a compass, right? And just suppose you are driving your car with a GPS and you ask questions like, how do I fix my car? Or what am I supposed to do when I reach my destination? And what are my chances of reaching my destination? That is not the question you ask your intuition. That's why you keep feeling stuck. You ask it, which way to go? Which is the fastest way to go? Which is the direction which is going to be most aligned for my inner harmony, for my well being, for my integrity, for my growth? Whenever you ask your intuition which direction to go, you are going to notice it is going to answer. Yes, some of you might be are now thinking, oh, it does not really answer me, Debjit. Sometimes I cannot really listen to it. But hear me out. The intuition always answers. Yes, sometimes it speaks to you in such a way that it feels like it's not saying anything, but it always does. The intuition speaks to you not in forms of voices, not in forms of statements, not in form of visions. Sometimes it gives vision, but usually it speaks in terms of resonance, in terms of a feeling of inspiration, of a feeling of clarity, a feeling of a strong pull towards a certain direction. You see, that's where your intuition wants you to go. When you feel this strong resonant pull towards a certain direction and you don't have a clue why, you just know need to go in that direction, that is your intuition speaking, telling you this way. That is the compass showing you true north, where you belong, which direction you have to go, where you're going to thrive, where you're going to expand, where you're going to experience greater inner harmony, where you're going to share your soul gifts. That way to go. But then once we feel like, oh, I feel like I want to go there, then the next question comes, but how? That seems like a difficult thing to do. That seems like a difficult place to visit. What if it doesn't work out? What if this? And you want the same intuition, that same compass, the same GPS, to also answer the how question. Now, there lies the problem. It's not going to tell you, it's going to keep shut. It said, my job is done. I told you this way. That is my job. That's what I do. And how is not my department, somebody else's department. And that's why we forget that there is also somebody else who is precisely there to answer the how questions. Not intuition's department. That is the department of your intellect. The intuition is very much body-based. It's your intelligence, the deeper intelligence of life flowing through you, the deeper intelligence of the universe flowing through you. The physical mind, the intellect, the rationalities, the logic, that is mind-based. Its job is to process things. Its job is to figure out things. Its job is to carve out paths so that you can walk, so that you can reach to your destination. If your intuition is your compass, your intellect is the driving engine of your car. If your intuition is your GPS, your intellect is the wheels. You get it? You don't ask the wheel where to go. Don't ask the GPS, what are you going to do, how to get there. That's why we keep messing things up. I have done it umpteen number of times, so I know your pain. You're not the only one. This is a very, very common challenge in the journey. But it's a challenge that you can learn to overcome if you can maintain your discernment. You can maintain the discernment that this is the department of intuition, this is the department of intellect. When you're looking for direction, ask intuition. It will guide you through your resonance. When you're looking for when you're looking for how to get there, solutions, answers, maps, you ask your intellect. Your intellect's job is to tell you how to get there. What is the best way to reach there? How you can easily reach there? How can you reach there without destroying your integrity, without destroying your alignment, without messing up your health? You see, that is the job of the intellect. I hope it is becoming clear, because this is a very, very common challenge. So now, if you have understood what I have here to share, I hope you are going to go away with this clarity of what to ask your intuition. So if you are experiencing lack of clarity about where to go, ask your intuition, see what resonates. Should you write a book? Should you start a project? Should you build a business? Which direction you have to go? Your intuition will resonate. You will feel like, oh, this resonates. I want to do that. That's the direction. But how you're going to build the business, how you're going to build the program, how you're going to sell the offer, how you're going to maintain your inner alignment, your integrity, your health, that is something your mind has to figure out. You see? So that's the way. I hope it has resonated. If it has resonated, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And I share much deeper things, much deeper explorations when it comes to our consciousness, our mind, how to maintain alignment and how to live in alignment with your soul journey and connect with the deeper intelligence of your life that is trying to guide you, which I call the inner guidance. If you want to explore my deeper exploration on these topics, do sign up for my free newsletters where I share these topics every week, much more in depth. Sign up for my free newsletters. Link is in the description. And if you have enjoyed this conversation, leave a comment. Let me hear about it. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about it? So I'll see you again soon, and have yourself an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.